Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, likes, comments, and subscribes are always appreciated, as they just help in general. They also look nice to have. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Bit of a weird day in the cryptocurrency space, mainly because whales. It says crypto market volatility continues as the overall cryptocurrency market is currently down 4.10%, slipping once again under 1.4 trillion US dollars. A lot of the news flowing around right now, for those of you who are not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin and Ethereum enter strong correction. Key support levels to watch. There's a lot of doom and gloom news floating around, especially when people are able to use the C word in the cryptocurrency space. They use it quite freely, and the word being correction. This is not a correction. A correction implies that something was wrong with the market. Prices were too high or too low, and they needed to be corrected. This is manipulation by the people at the highest point on the Bitcoin pyramid, if you kind of want to say it that way. It is abundantly clear to all of us, and it should be to you at this point, that they are moving the price around as they so choose to be able to accumulate more cryptocurrencies. It says, on the other hand, Ethereum has seen a deeper correction, losing 7.79% and slipping under $2,000 levels. At press time, Ether is trading at 7.7% down and is at 1,982. At the time of me making this video, there's already been like a little jump back up in price. Who knows if that is going to last, but we are not as deep in the red as this article is saying. It says Bitcoin price falls under $33,000, but on-chain data hints at Bitcoin accumulation. This is probably the most important part. I know we've been going over it for the last couple of weeks. I do not apologize out there if anyone finds this news to be boring. This is probably the most significant thing on the planet right now when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. A lot of times when we read articles, it generally has to do with, especially if it's around Bitcoin or Ethereum's price, how low they're going, the correction that they're having, how negative things are, how bears are in control. And I think this is a very hyper simplified version of what's actually taking place in any market. You can't simply say, well, the bulls are back in control. Like, you imagine like someone getting on top of a bull, riding it off into the sunset and going, yeah, I made money, as opposed to thinking, no, these are people, these are actually humans behind the scenes. I know that they're using robots to trade, got that part, but they're also telling the robot what to do during certain scenarios. And we have had explicit news over the last 2 months, exactly on the time as prices have been dropping, that the richest people on the planet, and these are categorized as people with over at least 1,000 Bitcoin in a wallet, have been accumulating nonstop as prices have been going down. So this is this is something. Why would they be accumulating so heavily as the market looks absolutely terrible? It's not because they know how to move things down, which we're also going to get into in a couple of segundos. This one says, Glassnode says, Bitcoin back in accumulation mode, but big move ahead. We are currently in a very tight range within Bitcoin's price. We are between $34,900, if you want to say $35,000, sure, go for it, and $32,500. We keep bouncing back and forth between this. We had a lot of these, actually. It's not even a couple. Bitcoin tends to have a lot of these where we go into this tight trading range over the course of a 2 to 3 month period. At some point, we end up breaking out of it. And I mentioned this yesterday as a little bit of a joke in the video. I was like, we either go up or we either go down. Like, there has to be a decisive move. It's not that we continuously just going, oh, well, Bitcoin's at $45,000 forever. No, there's going to be either a dramatic breakdown where Bitcoin's price goes under, which is what I think is currently in play. This is just me. I do not know the future. I cannot tell you what's going to happen in an hour and a half within the cryptocurrency space, but remember the news that we got about 2 hours ago, two weeks ago at this point, from JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, and some other large bank who kept on saying that Bitcoin would be more attractive to buy if it hit $29,000. And I was like, why exactly $29,000? The big people in play, for some reason, are trying to get the price to go down to a certain level and will not let it move anywhere after that. So this could be the moment around the time where we see prices fall down to a more acceptable level for institutions institutions, and therefore they start buying everything up. The price pops back up. Or we could, at the end of this trading range, see Bitcoin simply just shoot and skyrocket up, as many analysts have been saying for months now, that there's no reason why we should actually be this low, especially when we have constant data every single day that the already large addresses are accumulating even more. We have other metrics as well that show like even some of the smaller addresses that have been around for a very long time. This is usually indicative of people who've been in the cryptocurrency space. They may not have, you know, the bajillions of bucks to be able to buy Bitcoin, but they understand the actual metrics. They understand the actual thing that's going on with Bitcoin, yada, 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 and they're also accumulating as well. We typically see that it's the newest people in the space who are selling off their Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and this is quickly swooped up by the richest people in the market. And someone the other day had a problem with me saying the word rich. What should I call these people? Rich and wealthy. Like they own all the Bitcoin on the planet. I'm not. It's always certain people who have like a problem with one word that I'm saying. I'm like, I don't have a thesaurus next to me. I cannot find a brand new word to appease you. So yeah, Bitcoin back in accumulation mode. And this one says traders are withdrawing 2,000 Bitcoin from centralized exchanges daily. Here's the other part. The number of Bitcoin held on centralized exchanges such as Coinbase and Binance has consistently fallen since late May, with roughly 2,000 Bitcoin worth around $66 million at current prices flowing out of exchanges daily. Here's how it works. One of the key metrics for Bitcoin not doing well, that was with air quotes for those of you who were not looking, has to do with when people begin to put their Bitcoin back onto crypto exchanges. The idea being they know something is up, something is amiss in the market, something is wrong, and therefore these people have gobbled up all the coins they want and they're planning on selling. But here's what ends up happening. You move the coins onto an exchange, a huge amount of coins. Other people start looking at these metrics and go, there are far too many coins on this exchange than there were a couple of months ago. Therefore, whales must plan on selling. The news becomes very negative. Let's say I have 900 million Bitcoin. That's not even possible. Tons of Bitcoin. So I'm moving all the Bitcoin onto the exchanges, and eventually there's like 95,000 more Bitcoin than there previously was before. Everyone goes, every single day, this amount of Bitcoin has continuously increased on these cryptocurrency exchanges. Something is wrong. The negative news begins to come out. The bots read the news, everything, blah, 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 blah. Prices begin to fall. The really crazy part, and this has been happening since 2017, and I mean like really heavily happening since 2017, is that once prices have fallen to an acceptable level for the institutions or the higher ups who were trying to buy as much Bitcoin as possible, they start taking their coins off of the exchange. That's the trick. They never sell. They simply put it there. We had this problem in 2017 and I think early 2018 as well, but this has been mostly, I hope, fixed to a certain extent where people were putting in fake buy and sell orders. They saw that there was a large account. Someone was able to put in these sell orders that was never going to be filled. It had like a ridiculous thing like Bitcoin has to hit this number that's astronomically, it's just not possible in some sort of way. And other people on the chart saw that this was a huge sell order for 14,000 Bitcoin by one individual, and they were like, whoa, we got to start selling right now. The news would spread like wildfire. Bitcoin fell by 5%. Why did it fall by 5%? Because people on that cryptocurrency exchange were selling. Every other cryptocurrency exchange also sold. It's manipulation. It's a way to get people to drop prices. And then what happened is on that same cryptocurrency exchange, at one point, nearly all those coins were swooped up. The 14,000 Bitcoin that had been placed on that cryptocurrency exchange as a sell or buy disappeared. The order was gone. And therefore, nothing actually ended up taking place. It's a very common thing to do in crypto, and people for some reason still haven't caught on. Glassnode's July 12 week on-chain report found that Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges have fallen back to levels not seen since April, the month that Bitcoin shot up to $65,000. The researchers noted that during the bull run leading up to the peak, relentless depletion of exchange coin reserves was a key theme. People were taking them off, and therefore, oh my gosh, there's not enough left on exchanges. That means prices are going to go up. Glassnode concluded this much of Bitcoin went to Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust or was accumulated by institutions, driving a persistent net outflow from exchanges. However, when Bitcoin's price slumped in May, this trend reversed as coins were sent to exchanges for liquidation. Now the net transfer volume has moved back into negative territory again as outflows increase. They have accumulated what they wanted to accumulate. They're taking their Bitcoin off daily from these exchanges. And the really crazy part is that we are at Bitcoin levels on exchanges around the time when Bitcoin was at $65,000. There's no reason for our prices to be this low, except for the fact that, once again, and this has to be hammered into everyone's head, because I know that I believe, oh yeah, I've seen the comments. I've seen people discussing this with me on Twitter as well. I know it's frustrating right now. Believe me, I know it's frustrating. Yes, I've been here for a while. I completely understand. We are talking about the usurpment, not sure what the word is, of the entirety of the fiat currency market. And Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, yada, 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 becoming the new world currencies. It is going to take a while for us to get there. There are institutions who have metrics that say within the next 5 to 10 years that Bitcoin could, no one knows for certain, be at $500,000 to $1 million. The amount of returns on that investment are staggering. When you buy a house, when you buy an investment, you can normally assume that if you're in stocks or the stock market, you can maybe get back a good 6, 7, 8, 9% per year. I've had people bragging to me in the comment section, well, bro, I make 15% per year. I don't care what you do on your own time. If you buy a home, you may get lucky enough to get between 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12% on your return every single year, especially if you bought in a good area. The numbers that we get in the cryptocurrency space especially when it comes to altcoins, flows around. Have you seen, if you get a chance, find one of those charts that shows you like a yearly gap and exactly how far we've risen in price. There are certain coins that are up by 15,000%. That would literally take you a lifetime to be able to get. If we are talking about something that in 5 to 10 years will be $500,000 to $1 million, these people are going to do anything in their power to accumulate as much as possible in silence, behind the scenes, while crashing our market to make it seem like there's no actual interest. If this is what happens with Bitcoin in the next 5 to 10 years, imagine in 20 years, imagine in 30 years, imagine in 60 years from now. This is why all the banks are getting into it. They see the longevity of it, and it's not about the short-term price movements. And I know that's very difficult to really absorb and to understand. It took me a while to feel that way as well, because you sit there thinking, where's my money? Why am I losing money? Why is my money not going up? And these people have laser locked 60 years, 100 years in the future. This is why they're betting so big on it. So the point to be made is that these coins are now moving off of exchanges quite silently, I would say, while prices continue to decrease. And we actually have proper numbers as well, which I thought was actually kind of fascinating. Crypto exchanges hold 7.3% of the total supply of Bitcoin. I don't think we've ever had this metric before for as long as I've been doing the news. You've seen before I was I don't want to use the word hungry, but I wanted these numbers. These numbers are very important to see exactly how much Bitcoin is actually left out there. Crypto exchanges currently hold 7.3% of Bitcoin's circulating supply of 18.75 million coins. This amount of Bitcoin on exchanges wallets translates to roughly 1.5 million Bitcoin. I've been trying to figure out this number for so long to figure out how much crypto is actually on these exchanges. The really important part to note is that these 1.5 million Bitcoin are not available to everyone. This is probably indicative of a larger inflated number. That's not, first of all, 7.4 billion people on the planet, 1.5 million just on exchanges. Like, that's it. We know that a lot of people who've taken it off of exchanges, where else would they put it other than a cryptocurrency exchange? They're taking it off. They're putting it into cold custody. Think of that. 18 million Bitcoin. Of all the cryptocurrency exchanges that we have on the planet, there are only 1.5 million left for 7.4 billion people. There are an enormous amount of people who simply have their Bitcoin on an exchange because they don't want to take it off and they don't feel safe custodying it in some sort of other way. Both Binance and Coinbase have 938,000 Bitcoin combined. and the other exchanges have 593,000. That means a huge portion of these, there are a lot of people out there, you right now especially probably, have some fraction or an entire Bitcoin or more Bitcoin on a cryptocurrency exchange, even though you do not plan on selling. This is what I mean by the actual supply crunch and the intensity of what's about to take place whenever whales decide to finally, jump on or off the boat, whatever the whale is going to cause more waves. This is nothing. 1.5 million Bitcoin is an extremely low number for the amount of people who are getting into the market, who are looking to actually buy. But I don't have to say anymore. We finally have a number. Thank you to whoever compiled this little graph here, because I've been trying to search for this for a very long time. And it says Bitcoin outflows from exchanges have resumed at a steady pace. So that is, and also right here as well, Bitcoin's biggest whales share of the total Bitcoin supply is now at a 27-month high. Prices are lowering. They continue buying. There's not enough left. There's going to be a decisive move in the market. We do not know if it is going to, once again, go down, like JP Morgan has insisted. But also, I read an article that was a couple of months ago, maybe January, where JP Morgan, some analyst at JP Morgan basically noted that they expected Bitcoin to, it said Bitcoin will never pass by 25,000 again. It was some really odd article, and I was like, are we both living on Earth? Like, do you know what's about to happen? And then Bitcoin shot up past that anyway. So the point to be made is that JP Morgan is not always correct, especially when we know that they're into Bitcoin. They praise the technology and they love Bitcoin and they love Ether, but they'll continue to put out things basically saying that prices are going to drop because they want it to drop. So prices are down. Whales continue to buy. There's not a lot of Bitcoin left. And yeah, I just thought I'd share all that with you because I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will be reporting, the bears have control and we have to have a correction and it looks like we're going lower, but not actually telling you what's really happening behind the scenes. Yeah, prices might go lower, but they'll eventually go higher. The whales are buying up everything. The already rich people on the planet are going to become hyper richer. Thank you to the person who posted on my Twitter. Oh gosh, I didn't even know how you would find that. Somebody posted the chart that I was telling you about yesterday that showed like the tons and tons of people, and at the very bottom, the two individuals who were able to actually accumulate all the Bitcoin. And even that is like a fraction of a fraction because don't forget, it was PayPal, Grayscale, MicroStrategy. I think even just those three are accumulating more Bitcoin than is actually mined per day, just themselves. Never forget all that stuff. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, the top Japanese financial and crypto sector regulator, the Financial Services Authority, has published a report on DeFi, blockchain, and crypto, with its authors concluding that there may be a need for a nation to develop regulations for the decentralized financial sphere. The report was the second from the FinTech Innovation Hub, a working group founded by the FSA in 2018. The group's main aim is to figure out how to control everything as best they can. Regulators do not like DeFi, and they're trying to figure out a way to get control of DeFi. One of the really interesting parts is that within the cryptocurrency space, if we are trading Bitcoin, if you're on a cryptocurrency exchange, if you are cashing out of the cryptocurrency market, well, they know exactly where it happened. You had to show your ID to be able to join the cryptocurrency exchange, and you have to tell your bank before that money actually hits your account or your account will get frozen. That's just how it works. With DeFi, who do you complain to? There are a lot of people right now who are yield farming on DeFi platforms, and they're making Bakuda bucks, a lot of money, tons and tons of money, but there's no office for regulators to knock on. There's no one to say, hey, I like your product. It's kind of amazing, but, if you could fill out this paperwork. And this is going to become a major theme as we see things continue going on within the cryptocurrency space. This is our second news story in 2 days that regulators are going to try and regulate DeFi, but they can't. So, they can logically fill out paperwork. Once again, I say a lot of things on this channel, and understand I am not the revolutionary for you to follow and stand behind as we fight Terminators in the street. It's more of it's just basic logic. They have a problem with it because they haven't been able to figure out how to control it yet. They can't control it because it's decentralized. A lot of the people who are making these protocols, they're usually like Satoshi Nakamoto-esque. So you'll see them on forums, but we never will know their actual faces. A lot of these platforms, we're also going to cover one of those as well. Within like a day or two, a DeFi yield farming platform has like $1.5 billion within it over the course of like a 2 or 3 day period. So cool. I mean, by all means try, but this is why we're also seeing a huge amount of people moving to DeFi platforms and to decentralized exchanges because they're tired of the stuff that Binance is doing. And this is why Binance is making their own decentralized platform. And this is why Coinbase, remember before we had news about 5 or 6 days ago where Coinbase was like, yeah, our main goal is decentralization. We're also down. We want to be the cool kids. It's because they know where a huge portion of the money is flowing. So anyway, that was quite popular news as well. Go get it, and let's move on. Next up, U.S. Senator Patrick Toomey has declared investments in Grayscale's Bitcoin and Ethereum trusts. His declaration shortly followed by one of his fellow congressmen, Representative Barry Moore, who we spoke about last week, who declared that he had invested in Dogecoin, Ether, and Cardano. A growing number of U.S. lawmakers are investing in cryptocurrencies. I'm sure it's not a growing number. I'm pretty sure at least 80% of them are already in the market. It's just logical. They heard about this years ago. Somebody told them about it. Somebody made a huge amount of money. I want to get into it. They see how much money that they're making right now. Is that these people are now obligated to tell us exactly how much they have, and this is why we're hearing about all these things. According to a periodic transaction report filed on the 7th of July, U.S. Senator Patrick Toomey from Pennsylvania declared two personal crypto investments, each worth between $1,000 and $15,000. One was in Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, and the other was in the Grayscale Ethereum Trust, known as ETHE. It literally says ETHE. I'm going to call it ETHE. So, cool. Not the majorest news that you would assume. But this was also quite popular. This isn't floating around. Every time we get news that someone in a office is buying up Bitcoin, everyone goes, but he's a regulator. They also want to make money as well. They also have bills to pay, I'm certain, and have a beach house somewhere. So anyway, that's the you shouldn't be surprised news because they're all into it news. And let's move on. Next up, SelfWealth, a share trading platform listed on the Australian Securities Exchange, is planning to offer cryptocurrency. Why am I doing that with my foot? I'm like twisting it around like under the table. It just hurts now. Is planning to offer cryptocurrency trading as part of its 2021 roadmap. On Monday, SelfWealth officially announced that the company will partner with an established and secure cryptocurrency exchange to offer trading on its platform. What? They said this is off the back of research we've done, including answers from many of you. You want access to crypto, but you want it done in a safe and secure manner. So we're the ones to, offer you that. You will be able to trade cryptocurrencies that have been vested by us first. Wow. SelfWealth's move into crypto investment comes amid the company's transition efforts from a pure sharing trade platform to a wealth creation platform. I wonder what triggered that. Everyone was really into stocks before, but did something happen 12 years ago? Some type of a new financial... No, that's crazy. Anyway, this was quite popular. I don't have many things about this everywhere because it's just logical. Something called SelfWealth was going to get into crypto at some point. I guess the news is that if you're in Australia, this is a new avenue for you to be able to trade crypto in. I hope their fees are really low. A lot of people keep trying to get into the cryptocurrency space and having like 4 or 5% fees. No, I'm sorry, Mary. This is not the old brokerage accounts where you can trade, have people give you tons of fees to be able to trade cryptocurrencies, which they're able to do for free on other platforms. So just make sure that your fees are acceptable for everyone, or your platform simply will not make it. Because this isn't like you have one bank in your town, you have to go to that bank. No, you have the internet, and you have about 25 good options on the planet where you're able to trade cryptocurrencies, and even more. So you got about a good five strong decentralized exchanges that won't charge you a dime. So yeah, that's the SelfWealth news. Not surprised, because everyone's getting into crypto, because we found this out years ago, but now they see that the big money's there. Now they all want to jump into our market. Good job. Let's move on. Right here again, SelfWealth. SelfWealth. This is gigantic news, and I could not get away from it news. The crypto giant asset manager Grayscale has obtained approval for its digital large cap fund, which includes 6 major cryptocurrencies. The file key regulation form with the SEC. Wow, I read that completely incorrect. Next, Grayscale will seek to have its Litecoin, Ethereum Trust, and Bcash funds also become SEC reporting entities. Grayscale filed to make the large cap fund an SEC reporting company in May, a designation that comes with key implications. One is that it will allow wealthy investors, it's never normal people. It's always wealthy people, because they know they want all the Bitcoin for themselves, and then when there are crumbs left, well, that's for us. One is that it will allow wealthy investors who buy shares in the fund to liquidate those shares on the retail market after a period of 6 months rather than 12. And according to Grayscale's VP of Legal, Craig Salm, the SEC reporting status can provide a necessary assurance to some conservative investors and firms that otherwise would not touch crypto. This was all over the place. The news is that Grayscale registered with the SEC. I wish it was possible in English for me to explain to you how many times I saw this article, or things mentioning it, or talking about it. Cool. So basically, they've opened the door a slight bit further for more richer people to get into the market, to make them feel good, give them a little shoulder massage, say, hey, how much money you got in your pocket, kind of thing going on. Cool. Yeah. This was everywhere. Like, this was absolutely everywhere. I was completely shocked. I saw it first and I was like, oh, that's cool. I was even thinking of leaving it for like a news I missed. Nope. This was all over the place. So, cool, dude, cowabunga, and all the other 1990s terms that are out there. Yeah. All right. Moving on. And to finish things off, the high gas fees associated with Ethereum are attributed to the record growth in DeFi. And this is in part because of Shiba Swap. The protocol has recently tweeted that it has created history by moving more than $1 billion of the total value that has been locked on its platform in one day. According to cryptocurrency experts, the high value of the transaction associated with the platform is the reason behind the high fees charged by Ethereum. Shiba Swap has become incredibly popular in like 2.5, 3 or something or other days. It's feeling the effects, the Shiba Inu token of the rest of the markets where everything is going down. But this platform is super popular. I woke up super early, as I normally do, and I had an Ethereum transaction, and the gas fee, like the transaction fee, was I think $1.14, and I was like, wow, that's low. It should be a lot lower, but $1.14 on Ethereum is like, whoa. I made the transfer, what have you. About an hour later, there was another transfer that I had to do. It was like $14. And I was like, what the funkin' waggles is going on here? I was extremely shocked. And I tried to do another one later. It was $18. So Shiba Swap has launched. It is incredibly popular. Ethereum has to get it together. I don't know what more to say. I know that gas fees should have been moving lower because of the last protocol upgrade. I think that was Berlin. And I think we're waiting for London to happen on the 4th of August. But this... Anyway, yeah, just in case you were wondering why gas prices have been so high, it's the dog. The dog is doing it. I mean, it's not the only thing. Ethereum is running. I think so they say. I believe Ethereum is running thousands of apps at the exact same time, and therefore all these transactions are building up, and this is why we have higher transaction fees. But at the moment, everyone's saying it's Shiba. So bad dog. Bad. I was looking at the other keyboard that's next to me saying bad dog, and it felt a little weird, so I'm going to stop that because it's a keyboard and it hasn't done anything wrong. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbite University, Fudweiser, Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Uminu, Wishnicki, The Letter M, Stephen Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something, and the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grollet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pat Turnoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Storio, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Ebibiaphobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moha Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Crypto Artist, Goldie 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Manji Alavori, Jim Gardner, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Sleeps Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigra Machonisa, Artie, Tigra Machinista, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayla Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who left a comment. Thank you to all my NFT supporters out there as well. Thank you very much for all of that. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel in their own way. I do appreciate it. Someone mentioned yesterday, I actually saw 2 comments about it, that the news about some fund yesterday was actually fake. Apparently somebody created that on Twitter. And what was it? Oh gosh, I don't remember the entire story. Basically, one of the news stories that I gave yesterday about, I think, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund getting into Bitcoin was created by someone on Twitter. The news spread like wildfire, and then later on, he was like, ha ha ha, LOL, or something like that. So apologies for bringing it to you, but that's just how crypto news works. There aren't many established authors, no, news people in the space, so yeah. Anyway, Bitcoin is currently at 33,184. This is the move back up I was talking to you about. We've had a lot of these before. It looks like the market is going to go up, and then it maybe ends up going back down, but the entire market is kind of mimicking this move right now. I think is anything actually up besides a stable coin? Thank you, Dai. Leo said Unis Leo is up by 0.3%. Good for you. I think this is also a stable coin and another stable coin. We'll see what happens. We're near the end of the trading range. Something has to happen. It's not like we won't trade sideways forever. There will be a break up or down in prices, and it's just up for us to kind of wait to see where we go. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.